sit here and wait.
Not my strong suit. Jarvis, prep the armor base. Let's be awesome.
Summer movie season is back, which means it's time for another wave of video game adaptations hoping to cash in on gullible fans. The first one out of the gates this year is Sega's Iron Man 2, the sequel to the abysmal 2008 game based on the hit film. We were promised a better experience that would address the original shortcomings. What we get is one of the worst games so far this year.
We're about to shut down a rogue Iron Man program before it has a chance to get anybody killed.
Iron Man 2 bills itself as going beyond the film, but it's just another spin-off loosely tied to the property.
This is connected, trust me.
As Iron Man, you team up with your buddy War Machine and S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury to stop the forces of evil. This time around, it's a crazed Russian general and a disgruntled former Stark Industries employee out for Tony's hide. It's battle after battle with nothing but action and some weak dialogue, culminating in a showdown with the fearsome robot Ultimo.
As you created me, so shall I destroy you.
The concept has some promise, but the execution undermines it at every turn. Sloppy writing keeps things dull and boring, and the incoherent cutscenes fail to lure you in. But even if this were an Oscar-worthy story, the rest of the package is so bad that you wouldn't want to stick around anyway.
Damn it. Pepper, call the lawyers. I have no idea how to save the world, but I've been having a hell of a time making it up as I go along.
Saving the world as a superhero has never been so boring. Iron Man 2 sports a shallow single-player mode with a meager 8 levels. You have the option to take flight as either Iron Man or War Machine, blasting your way through mindless hordes of enemies devoid of even a sliver of ingenuity. Objectives are repetitive and typically frustrating at the same time, and numerous bugs can easily trip up a mission. The boss encounters are pure garbage. Your opponents frequently utilize cheap tactics that ruin the battle. The reward for putting up with all this is nowhere near worth the effort. You earn points based on your performance that can be spent on new upgrades. The catch is that anything of value is kept out of reach until the final few missions. And aside from looking at their costs, it's difficult to discern which upgrades are actually worth buying. Equipping your gear is a needlessly complicated process, and you'll find yourself neglecting the feature as a result. The game's also criminally short, clocking in at around 3 or 4 hours on the normal difficulty. You can tack on another hour if you want to unlock everything, but only the sadistic need apply.
Once upon a time, I didn't know how to save the world. Then I got smarter. No, it's not working.
Old Shellhead has the potential to be an immensely fun game character, but frankly, we're just eager to forget our experience playing Iron Man 2. The original game had some truly horrendous controls and flight mechanics, and with 2 years to remedy them, we should see an improvement. But rather than soar to new heights, the sequel manages to drag the mechanics further down to earth. Good luck gleaning any enjoyment playing as either Iron Man or War Machine. Just trying to fly around accurately is a chore in itself, never mind trying to fly and fight at the same time. It's a pain to enter flight mode, let alone actually steer yourself while flying. The handling being so loose, you'll find yourself hovering or walking the majority of the time. Getting around is further hindered by the camera and targeting systems. There are times when the camera seems to have a mind of its own. Combat doesn't fare much better. You can lock onto multiple targets from long distances, but you have to get within a ridiculously close range of them for your weapons to be effective. There's also little incentive to use your more powerful attacks, because they usually miss. As for the melee combat, it's easy enough to use, but it's just mindless button mashing. We sincerely hope you enjoy circle strafing enemies, because you'll be spending a lot of time doing that as well. The bottom line here is that it's no fun to play as Iron Man, which is why most people would buy a game called Iron Man 2.
Wait, what?
Wait, what is not the question you really want to ask, is it? What you really want to know is, how do we kill it once and for all, right?
Welcome, Mr. Stark. I guess this confrontation was inevitable.
Iron Man 2 looks just as bad as it plays. Character models look blocky, textures are blurry, and the animation is clunky. At times, you'll question whether the game is even running in high definition. Some good voice talent has been wasted on second-rate dialogue and a weak story, and many of the sound effects that aren't outright missing sound muffled and cheap. The soundtrack, stuffed with licensed music that often sounds out of place, does little to redeem the presentation. It's hard to think that you could do worse from the original Iron Man, but the unthinkable has happened. Iron Man 2 is an unfinished game, released to coincide with the flick's debut. There aren't many redeeming values here, and you'll get a lot more entertainment value from simply watching the movie.
Okay, that was the most awful thing ever.